All right, guys, just giving you an update on your Ryazan X-axis slide. We finished up the bottom, which would be the gibs, the binders, not the gib attachments that we were discussing about before. We haven't got that yet, but we were getting good enough so we could start working on this surface right here. I'm going to pull the camera from you and explain what I'm trying to do. So the plates that were made for this thing are 230 thousandths, but the height from this surface to the bottom of the gear, where it would fit in the rack, was sorry, I got to put the camera down, was too tall. So instead of making the plates super thin, we ended up deciding on, because we already had to pull this out on here, so we ended up deciding on grinding this surface down. I want to say we're grinding this down about 45 thousandths, 50 thousandths. It's not done yet. The finish is not great. Wheel loads up when you grind that much in one continuous way, but I'm not worried about the finish on this thing. This is where we're going to put our plates. So then that way we're taking off less material on that Abco bronze, and so we still give it the rigidity on it. The other thing we did too is they had steel screws in it. I ended up going with brass, same strength, but God forbid if this thing gets worn out, it's not going to screw up the ways. Metal on metal is generally not good. So this is the first way we got. We finished the X-axis this morning, and then we hurry up, put it on the machine, had to take the ball screw out and such, set it all up. This is the first one we're hitting. Tomorrow we'll hit this one, and then we're also going to take off the equal amount on here too. That way we're taking off less material. So I just want to give you a heads up on that one. Tomorrow I'm hoping that we... give that back to you. Tomorrow we're hoping that we're gonna start gluing the plates, and then after that we're gonna grind the plates one more time so we have a flat surface to go off of. Then we're probably gonna leave it up on the machine and do our measurements all over again just to make sure that there's no discrepancies or anything like that. We're not 100% sure what the tolerance should be on the clearance should be on the rack yet. We're going back and forth with a gear company on that one to give us our best, what we need to be. So we're working on that. But we still moving forward. But it made more sense to take it off of here than those plates and have them too fragile and thin. Because I want to say it was like 98 thousandths. Plus we got to assume for the glue, and we're not sure how thick the glue is going to be when we put it on here. Maybe 10. So if you got, let's say it's 110 thousandths, and you're taking off of a plate that's 230 thousandths, we didn't want to mess with that. So it made more sense to do it this way. Just want to give you a heads up of where we're at with this thing. And that's pretty much it. So I'll do another video tomorrow of the plates and then kind of the idea of the thickness. And then this thing goes back on the machine. We're going to grind it. And then we're also going to put our parallels up on here. And we're going to reenact those as a bedway. So I'm going to pop on down here. Make sure I don't fall. And I'll show you over here. So while one guy is grinding that, the other guy is fitting this thing exactly to the measurement of what you guys have. I think we're going, it's +4 6 thousandths. We're going to fine tune it on here because it's easier to machine it first and then grind it. And then we're going to fit this in between the bedways so then we could scrape the master and the gib as much as we possibly can on this thing. The other thing is too, is I forgot to show you on the grinder, is that we do have a square that we could put on the X-axis so we could simulate, how square it's got to be to the spindle. And by doing that, I'm able to grind the master, so then that way it's perfectly true. The less work I do out there, the easier it is going to be for us, because to fit it, to take a rub, flip it over, scrape it, it's a ton of work. If I could cheat it in the shop as much as I can, it's going to save us time for installing it. So we're working on it, getting it all going, but tomorrow I'll have another video. These will be done, that should be done and glued, and then the following day we're going to grind it and then get our heights one more time, and we'll see generally where we're at. Maybe we could be done with this by end of next week if we get lucky. We haven't worked on the lubrication, to be honest with you, because we're not sure how the lines go. I'm going to go back over to the box. Unfortunately, this is what we got. and I got to figure out where all these lines go and all the points and stuff. You know, you guys gave us a new line, which works out great, but we got to map it, make sure that, you know, it fits inside the clearances, there's no issues there, everything is getting oiled properly, and then also we got to see how the metering is going, because some metering I want to increase the flow for the flats and the masters, some I, you know, don't need a lot of oil, so we still have to go through that. That's going to be another guy that does that after one guy's scraping it, but it's difficult to have him set this all up when we're scraping everything. So maybe at the end of next week we could get that all done. The following week is a shortened week. That's the only negative. That's a Labor Day. So we'll keep you in the loop, but at least, you know, that's our plan so far, and I'll get you some more videos this week. Thank you.